So I just want to share a couple things about her and things that are going on. Sister Bean, not a year ago, didn't want to read her word, was angry with God, didn't want to pray, and just was in a place where she wanted God to show up first and then maybe reciprocate. But Sister Bean has transformed. Yeah. She reads her word 5-6 times a week. She prays, and she realizes that she has the gift of prayer. And what's interesting is, I forgot who said it, but somebody came up and was saying that they were struggling in something, and now that's something that they're blessed in. So last week, we really wanted to bless you, Mother Sills, with a dinner. And this Saturday was the first Rhythm and Poetry event that we had here. It was yesterday. And what's interesting is, you know, I was like, Lord, just make sure that we have 5 people to perform and it will be great. And so what happened was that at 2 o'clock in the morning, Sister Bean's son stays with their grandmother, her son's great-grandmother, who's 85 years old. And, you know, he can be a little bit disrespectful, and he's kind of tormented with the enemy. The enemy wants to take him out before he reaches his potential. So he was being disrespectful. And so the grandmother called her and said, listen, you need to come and get your son right away. And she loves her son. And she goes right away over there. And, you know, she doesn't act, you know, she just asks him what's going on. And she's been growing in the word and learning and praying every day. And she gets over there and she prays with him and tells him, you know, you're coming back with me. And he basically says, you know what, since nobody loves me, since grandma's kicking me out, I might as well not be here. And he goes upstairs and he takes a month worth of medication. Wow. And tries to commit suicide. And so, of course, she wasn't able to do what we wanted to do yesterday morning with the meal. She wasn't able to participate in the Rhythm and Poetry thing. She stayed the whole day in the hospital with her son. But I got to see her for a short time. And I was depressed about it because that's my nephew. And I kind of was discouraged. And I didn't know whether I should do the Rhythm and Poetry Jam or whatever. You know, but I prayed. And right after I prayed, Sister Bean shows up at the house. She said, oh, the doctors put him to sleep. He's going to be asleep for 3 hours. So I came home real quick. And I just wanted to see what was going on. And she says that she's going to be there in spirit, but she really, really is anxious about the Rhythm and Poetry Jam. You go and you do it. Not that I wasn't. I just was slow to do it. And when we got here, I got the praise report that the medicines weren't fatal. They can be dangerous in the long term, but he's going to survive this. And that's why she's not here today. The Rhythm and Poetry Jam that we did yesterday, I had 6 people lined up and 2 people canceled. She was one of them because of her situation. But we ended up having more people share than we originally had signed up. It was 4 poets and 3 singers. Amen. And they blew this place apart. And I say all of this and I give this testimony, and Sister Bean is with her son right now. And when I talked to her, she was like, it's okay. Amen. I gave it to God. Yes. She said, I took the situation and I gave it to God. Yes. And I trust him. Yes. And no matter what he does, he's in God's hands. And so his life isn't in his hands anymore. It's in God's hands, and he's going to get through this. And she said, I realized that he's special in God. And so the enemy wants to try to abort his potential before, you know, he can make it there. Because right now he considers himself agnostic or something like that. But Sister Bean is growing, and I know that he's going to grow and seeing the transformation in her. And so I praise God for that. And I say all of this to say that all of that was evidence to me that a situation can look bleak. Like everything can look like it's going wrong. You know, the rhythm and poetry situation looked like it was going wrong. The boy in the hospital looked like her life was in turmoil and it was going wrong. And before I got here in church today, all of those situations were victorious. Amen. Sister Bean isn't discouraged. She wished she could be here today. She told me to tell y'all that she loves y'all and she'll be here next Sunday. Her son is going to go stay with his father because he needs a strong hand in his life. But he's going to live. And the event that we threw, it was a success. It was a great time in the Lord. And the people there, they said that they loved it so much they're going to come back. And we're not going to wait a whole year to do another one. We're going to do another one in November.
Oh, amen.
And everybody who participated said that they want to be a part of the next one.
Yes.
And so they had fun, and we even arranged the chairs to everything to sit and look like, you know, we had the poetry podium right there.
Amen.
And so it would be around the person performing. The pastor came in and said, I like the church the way it is. It was a complete success.
Yeah.
And so when I say that the enemy, that God will take every device of the enemy that he's shooting at you and use it and turn it around in the midnight hour and make it work in your favor. I know from experience, from people in my life, through my own personal victories and so forth, God in the midnight hour is going to take control of your situations and turn it around. And so, you know, pray. I'll be praying for you too, because I know that you guys are going through, but God is going to bring the victory in it. And I know, Mother Sills, I know your health is getting to you and so forth, but in the midnight hour, God is going to turn it around.
Amen.
And he's going to work it to your favor.
Yes.
I believe in God that he's going to do a miracle in your life and that he's going to turn it around. And people who are in your situation is going to look at you and say, how did you come out? And you're going to say, if it wasn't for the Lord.
Amen.
You know, and sister, I know that I see you crying out to the Lord and everything. And, you know, I know you're going to come out. I know you're going to come out. I know you're going to come out. And the end of it is going to be victory. And I pray for each and every one of you every week. And God is going to turn it around in the midnight hour. So I want to call up the mother of the church. It's an honor to hear her. And so, Mother. Okay.